G'day virtual pilots, it's Requiem, and today we're going to have a look at the S.E.5a. Here in the bottom left, this is your horizontal stabilizer trim wheel. Above that is the bomb release handle. Moving up, this is the water radiator controls. So pushing it forward will open the shutters and pulling it back will close them. And here you have the throttle control. And on the left of that is the mixture. There's the clock. Now looking at the main panel, got the air pressure gauge. You got a radiator temperature, fuel gauge, your fuel selectors, magnetic compass, and underneath that is your inclinometer. So you want to step away from the bubble for coordinated flight. There's your oil pressure gauge, your tachometer, airspeed indicator in miles per hour, and the altimeter in feet. Over on the little right here, we've got magnetos and some extra flare cartridges. So to start the engine for the S.E.5, all we're going to do is make the mixture rich, press E, and that's going to start the engine. So now the engine is started, we're going to open up the water radiator and we'll lean out the mixture just a little bit, and then we'll start a taxi towards the field and we'll get ready to take off. So we'll increase the power enough just to get ourselves rolling. We're going to need quite a bit of power to get moving. Once you're rolling, you can pull the power back a little bit and then you just continue taxiing along. So we're just going to keep moving along here, and then when we're ready we're going to line up with the field and we're going to take off to the west. Now you're going to be using a little bit of right rudder to keep yourself straight, so when you're ready to turn to the left you can just relax that right rudder pressure. The plane's going to swing itself around. I'm going to bring that right rudder back in, start increasing the power to full, and we're going to start taking off. So on the roll you can add a bit of forward pressure, bring the tail off the ground, and hold it there. The plane's going to lift off on its own at about 50 miles per hour. So on the climb out, you're going to let the plane accelerate to about 65 to 70 miles per hour. That'll be your best cruise climb, and you just adjust your pitch to maintain that on the way up. We'll be staying in the pattern though. So a quick look behind us, just to make sure we're flying on the upwind nice and straight. I'll make that left turn and look at how to land the S.E.5. So for landing in the S.E.5, on downwind, you're going to get your throttle to be about 1200 RPM. This will slow you down to 70 miles per hour. At that point, the engine's going to be getting cooler, so you want to close that water radiator to help keep the engine temperature warm. And by the end of downwind, you're going to bring the throttle to idle and make your base final turn between 65 and 70 miles per hour. So here as we're turning on downwind, we're going to start reducing our power back to that 1200 RPM or so. And since we are at that reduced power setting, we're going to be closing up the water radiator to help keep the engine warm. At the pattern altitude that we want, and we're maintaining 70 miles per hour on the downwind. So now we're just going to wait until we approach our beam point with a touchdown, and then we'll cut the power. So we're coming up at our desired touchdown point, but not quite there yet. The speed is still good. Alright, there's our point pretty much. So here we're going to cut the power back to idle, and we'll start doing our base to final turn, maintaining about 65 to 70 miles per hour. And when you're in idle power, the S.E.5 will sink pretty quickly. So you don't really need to extend off that downwind very much before you make this turn, unlike other airplanes, like the triplane or a Camel. So we're just trying to get a feel for our vertical speed and imagine where our aiming point is going to be around about the beginning of that field. And we're just going to slightly adjust this turn as we continually come around based on how fast we're descending. So here we go, about to finish off in our final turn here, continuing flying towards our aiming point. And bring it around and start leveling the wings off. Alright, so as we keep coming in towards our aiming point, we're going to be attempting a wheel landing in the S.E.5a today. So as we start getting close to the ground for the round out, bring the plane level. So as we feel the main wheels touch the ground, we add a bit of forward pressure on the stick to keep them planted. And then when you're ready, you can add back pressure and bring the tail skid down into the ground. And then you're going to use the rudder to keep yourself straight, and with some bursts of throttle when you need it to get some more rudder authority. And you can slow down to taxi speed and get away from the field. So that completes the tutorial for the S.E.5a. If you enjoyed it, be sure to share it with your friends and become a subscriber. And until next time, remember to always fly safe and check your 6.